Hello, everybody, and welcome back to weekend number 1, day number 2 of the Due Process League. We got a good one for you tonight. We got Yaokuza versus LCG. I'm here with my friend Adaxi. How you doing, Adaxi?
I'm doing great, Reviv. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm looking forward to this game. What do you got? What do you got in mind? Give us the rundown on LCG and Yaokuza.
Okay, so Yaokuza, previously known as Flogels, they've been an EU powerhouse this past season, and we saw in season 2 they made it to the playoffs, and they have a very strong core roster consisting of Macias, Ghetto, Flogel, Louis, and Tigaman. While LCG, on the other hand, they're the more long-term team. They were around back in season 1. Granted, they did not make it in season 2 qualifiers, so they were knocked down to rivals, but they have pushed their way back up, and they are here in season 3. Their roster today is going to be Jet, Toxic, Pablo, Jerry, and Flecken. So they were formerly a full German roster, but because some people had to leave, roster changes happen. It's now more of a generalized EU team. So we actually get to see 2 EU teams clash today, meaning we see EU servers. We don't see any weird molly mechanics or missing tick damage or anything like that that a lot of teams see in scrims. Um, and other than that, it's just general strats are going to be different. This is not EU versus NA. Like I said, it's EU versus EU. So maybe we'll see a change up in the strats. Maybe there'll be a completely different meta on the other side of the ocean. I'm not sure.
It'll be interesting for sure because you see a lot of these teams, with the way scheduling works out, they play
Mhm.
each other a lot because there aren't
Yeah.
as many. It's hard to schedule with the NA teams. So I personally know these guys have played. They're sick of playing each other. So it's going to be a
Oh
really
yeah.
good. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens when you have a teams that have played each other as much as they have. There's
Yeah.
not going to be a
Definitely.
lot of like hidden strats that everyone's got like, "Oh, I've had this one in my back pocket the whole time." Like they know it, they know each other. So it's going to be really interesting to see, what that knowledge brings out.
Yeah, and just something I want to point out. We are actually going to see one player on the sniper that we usually don't see, and that's going to be Jetford on the side of LCG. LCG's been doing this really interesting thing. They're actually consistently subbing between players. These two players are going to be Sensei Snap and Jetford, and those are going to be the two like resident sniper players. So I'm really interested to see some of the sniper plays that go on because we know some of the long range fights are really good for the side of Yakuza. Not sure to be honest. We'll see though.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see for sure. You got Sensei and Jetford, both, very active in the community. Sensei, if you've watched Due Process on Twitch, you've seen
Oh
Sensei
lord, yes.
stream. If you've ever been in the Due Process League Discord, you've seen Jetford around.
Jetford. We
So
love
they're
Jet.
both they're both super active guys, and if you're ever looking to interact with either of them after they, have a great date, you'll find them somewhere.
Yeah, you
Hopefully they'll be
will.
able to make it a good one though, for sure. It's gonna be hard to come over a Yakuza who's had a very similar lineup and a good lineup for a long time.
I mean,
Lots of
yeah.
just really strong players there.
And I want to mention they picked up some players from Momentum. Momentum was a mostly like CIS sort of region team, so you got Polish and a little bit of Ukraine in there. So that team disbanded after relegation in season two, and some of their members had joined Yakuza. So they've been working very well together. It seems. I mean,
Mhm.
I've subbed in for a few scrims for them. Their communication seems very impressive for what it is. I mean, sometimes you might be like, "Oh, hey, they're used to speaking a different language when we're kind of just like English because we're always fighting English teams." And it's like, but the gap just isn't there. I feel like these two teams have come together and they work so well together, which is something I'm really excited to see.
Absolutely. It'll for sure just be fun to watch. I cannot wait to get this game started. And at the end of the day, we just get more competitive due process, and that's what we're all here to see.
Oh yeah, competitive due process at its core. It's going to be exciting, and it looks like they're going to be loading into the match now. So we might as well get in now. And Reviv, I've got to ask you, what are your predictions for Game One? Who's going to win it,
I,
and what's the score going to be?
I'm gonna see game one 7-3 Yakuza. I think
Okay.
LCG is gonna be keep it closer than a lot of people are gonna be expecting,
Hmm.
but I still think Yakuza is gonna take it pretty comfortably.
I'm gonna sort of back you up on that, and I'm gonna say it's a 7-4 or a 7-5 maybe in favor of Yakuza
Mhm.
because LCG, I've seen them on the grind recently, and I am ready to see what they're capable of. They have come back strong this season, and we're gonna be starting out on Kill House. We've got the rotation Kill House Factory C Store for this first half of the game, and the first Kill House we're gonna see is Minotaur Golden. As you can see, we've got this large like western portion of the map, we have a big reception. Now, it does have a lot of cover, so maybe we'll see a lurk player there. But back focusing on the map, you've got some interesting pushes you can take. You've got the reception to office route if you want to go for sort of an eco play where you're going to have to use a nade to get rid of some barbed wire. Or, you can just go for a red door push on the north side of the map. We see a red door and lockers that leads directly into kitchen. And from there, you've got two windows of hallway. You can contest those windows from kitchen. So some very interesting map sort of a map shape here. I'm wondering how LCG is going to counter any sort of top take, because one barb on the north side of the map might not be enough to hold off a 5-man push. We'll see, though. We'll see. It seems Flogel, or excuse me, not Flogels, Yaokuza, formerly known as Flogels, want to go for this sort of eco play. They want to take control of those club windows looking into hallway, and they want to use a smoke grenade, it seems. A little bit dangerous, possibly, if LCG has a shotgun, to sort of get control of club. They have accounted for the barbed wire that LCG is going to be placing on office, so it seems the push here is going to favor Yaokuza. But you never know. LCG could pull something out of their back pocket. They have drawn up some wallbang lines, and it does seem like a power weapon, Auto Shotty, is coming out. Maybe we'll see Auto Shotty play in Vault, or it seems like they're going to be playing in Kitchen. It is Pablo on the Auto Shotty. So, we'll see.
Interesting play. This hallway on this map makes for such really interesting plays, especially if this vault opens and cuts off the hallway up into Kitchen. Really makes it an exciting map to play on. We're going to see a DL come out here on the first round from Flogel himself. Not super surprising, given the fact that we are on Kill House. Another nade on Ghetto there. Everyone else just bringing their chalk flashes. Shotgun it open the hallway there. It's going to be really difficult to get through there unless they nade out that barb with the wall bangs there, and that's a really well-placed barbed wire from LCG. Flashing into office, not that it'll find anybody. Just slowly making their way, clearing out their rat corners, Flogel pre-firing, wall banging even that.
Jerry has that molly prepped.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Jerry looking to see what he can do. Some wall bangs coming out. You know, Yakuza's definitely willing to take this one slow. A good molly there. Maybe a little premature, not countering any flashes, but you might as well be safe when you're that far back. The nade is going to nade out the barbed wire perfectly there. Flogel going to get their first flash and going to go in hard there. The smoke comes out and Flogel's just sending all the way into club. He's alone in club, but he's able to get one before Jerry puts it back down. But he gets the button and Louis all the way in. Tiga Man there to cover. Pablo and Jetford both down on the vault. Jerry trying to make the flank, but Ghetto in the corner can't make it happen.
It's over.
Over. He's not going to be able to do it. Flecken goes down there. A really, really just big brain strat there from Yaokuza.
Yeah, usually if you drop a smoke down, you'd expect defenders to go ahead and abuse it against you, but Flogel, he literally just used that smoke to hit the button for his teammates, and all of his teammates just flooded into that bomb site and were able to hold off the retake from Jet and Pablo. That was huge. That timing just worked so well for Yaokuza, and that's going to give them the first attacker round. Impressive.
Absolutely. The smoke also it blocked off the window and the wall bangs, so they weren't watching the wall bangs either because they're like, there's a guy right here, so they just let him walk through this barbed wire that they had in the hallway. Really good stuff.
And we're gonna see 4 defender weapons picked up: the auto, a Gruber, a Knack, and a KR, all picked up. Maybe we'll see some use of that on C Store.
They dropped a DL.
Yeah, but I mean, they picked up the auto. I would say that's a fair exchange.
That's true.
I mean,
and there's only C Store left.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, defenders are a bit more squishy. I'll give it to them. But the auto does have a little bit of a longer of a ADS sort of. I mean, the rate of fire, you've got to learn to control that thing. But these players, I guarantee you, they've mastered it at this point. They're probably going to rack it up, though, as we are moving on to Factory before we head over to the convenience store. Welcome to Odysseus Banner. And it's going to be a large generator right in the center of our map. That's going to provide a lot of interesting cover. If you take a look at these 2 bridges right in the center of the map, you can create some very interesting sight lines to sort of crossfire on the generators. So I'm wondering if the defenders on the side of LCG might try to abuse that. It seems they are a bit concerned about a fan take. So maybe we will see a generator hold here. It does seem that Sniper is going to be brought in this round. It's going to be in the hands of Jet, as we noted in the pregame, and he's going to be playing in Office. I'm wondering how the attackers are going to counter this. It seems Yaokuza wants to go for this Office play, but there is a barbed wire directly in front of it to counter it. So we'll see. We'll see. There is a possible split coming in. Double door charge here. They did eco on the first round. Yaokuza did eco. Let me get that out of the way. So a split is viable here, but using 2 charges on the second round instead of the third round could be a little bit of a commitment. I mean, if they lose this round, LCG knows that Yakuza only has a wall charge. But if they win this round, Yakuza still has the momentum in their favor, and they get rid of a mop. So maybe this split will work out for them. Usually we see sort of a 2-3 split, but it seems they want to go for a 2-2-1. Yakuza going to be having a flank watcher on that server's position. All the barbed wires going to be going down. Seems they're in the proper location, and it doesn't seem like LCG wants to do this generator hold. They're sort of staying on this western portion of the map. They've got 3 players in Toxic and Office. Pretty interesting setup. Not something I've really seen before on this map, but who knows? Maybe they'll be able to pull something out.
Remember, if you wall banging through this section here between Office and servers, if Toxic does end up playing in Toxic, he'll still get hit markers through this wall here. So that's a really strong wall bang hold there if he's going for it. The charge is going to come out there into Office, a well-timed molly, and Jet and Pablo are out of there. And this might be what Yakuza's hoping for with their big split here, to try to get everyone rotate out of Office and then hunt them down into Fan. I'm a little surprised to see LCG abandon Office so quickly.
Yeah, I am too. They're sort of being patient. Both sides are.
A super good smoke there coming out from Yakuza into Office, really making only this ramp area accessible. They're going to clack Fan as well as Flash is going to go into Toxic. Flogel sneak his way in. Louis going to push hard. He's able to get Toxic, but a refrag comes out from Pablo. Flogel and Pablo doing the dance in Toxic. Jet picks up the pick in Office. It's a 3v3 now. Jet misses with the mop shot there. Mason's able to get the pick on him after he does it too. Mop on the ground now, just Flecken and Jerry left. Able to pick up Tiga Man there, but Macius on that Saber does enough damage that Flogel can finish him off. It's just Jerry now. Macius gets the final pick. A really good take there from Yakuza.
I mean, we saw some very impressive crossfires there from Yakuza on their attack. I mean, that flash we saw go into Toxic from Office side perfectly distracted Toxic and Pablo, and that gave Flogel the chance to sneak up and get those refrags on his teammate. It was perfect. And then, granted, we did see Tiga Man sort of rush out, but that was because he knew he had the cross from Office and Generator. He knew he could get that aggressive position, because then Jerry and Flecken had to move, or else they were going to get killed. And they just ended up getting killed at the end of that engagement. Beautiful crosses there from Yakuza, but I also have to give credit to LCG. They hit their shots that round. It's just they didn't have the counter crosses, and they can't really use their utility that well on that map. I mean, where are you supposed to throw a molly there? Like, are you supposed to chuck it over Generator? Are you supposed to throw a Kobe all the way to Fan? Like, you can't do too much there with your Molotov. So it's just, you have to take those raw gunfights. You have to take the repositionings and get aggressive. And it seems LCG, while they did get the picks, they weren't able to keep up with the pace that Yakuza set that round.
For sure.
Moving on to C-Store, though, we are on Olympus Fortune now. Interesting storefront shape. Usually you'll see a bomb out in the open with a storefront as large as this, but there's actually some decent cover in this one. Maybe we'll see a defender sort of hide in this fridges area, or we'll see a defender sort of play this back office area and scout through tellers if a storefront breach is occurring. And it seems that is exactly what Yakuza wants to do. They want to go for this, you know, not necessarily generic, but I would say overused storefront play. There's just so many wall charge maps on C-Store. I've got to say it. And it seems teams do have different variations on it. But for the most part, it's, you know, wall charge. Oh, you should push this room. I'll push this room, and then just flashbang cover while we spam defuse the bomb. Simple as that, right? But Yakuza, they're known for going really in depth on these simple pushes. They always have those double peaks on rooms like Arcade and Freezer, and they're always able to have like somebody. I don't know how they manage this, but they always have that one person watching the defuse. Like, if there's a player teller, they know. If there's a player rotating into teller, they know. So it's just, I'm wondering how LCG is going to counter the superior information that Yakuza can collect with a wall charge play. Granted, we do see 2 barbed wires in storefront. This does seem like somewhat of an eco round for LCG, only bringing 2 Molotovs instead of 3. It seems they're trying to play back and sort of play this retake, which could be beneficial But as I mentioned, that information that Yaokuza collects, it might do them well this round.
I am stunned that that knack is not in bathroom. The charge is coming out already. It's going hard here. Macia's already getting a shot down on the Jetford. The flashes are coming. They're doing this one fast. Jet hiding behind the bomb. Tigaman's able to put him down there. 2 players in Toxic here for LCG. The nade's going to get one of them. Another one down in Freezer, and they're already getting the defuse. I feel like we just started. I want my chance to talk. Pablo able to get one, but Macias and Louis able to clean it up. It's 3-0. Yaokuza with a dominant performance on their first attack.
Reviv, like I said, they went so deep. We saw 2 players go to Freezer, and we saw Ghetto just go extremely deep, almost all the way to Office through Arcade with the auto shotty. I mean, they had the follow-up flashes there, and they knew where LCG was going to be playing, and that made for a very rough defense round. I mean, we did see some close-range guns that could have won engagements from LCG, but when you're flashbanged, it's not gonna be that good to win a fight.
For sure, and you're down utility after losing your first 2, and you're trying to defend Z-Store. It's gonna be hard no matter what you do, especially when Yaokuza was smart enough to save their wall charge.
But hey, LCG does have 6 attacking rounds now, and we will see some new maps halfway through it. So, back to Minotaur Golden. I'm wondering what LCG is going to do here. We already sort of discussed the mapping. We discussed how Lockers has that north side red door, which is actually going to be very difficult to hold because it gives just so much access to the north side of the map. And we also discussed how, while the eco play is viable, it could be difficult. Maybe we'll see a duplicate plan from LCG here. You know, a smoke goes down, they hit the button, and they sort of rush into bomb. But maybe Yakuza's expecting that sort of play. I would not underestimate Yakuza's ability to use the auto shotty here, because they could lock it up in vault. They could play it in a similar position in kitchen and hold down a door that's going to be a lot more difficult to hold. Or, you know, they could just put it on a normal choke point, you know, say office. Whoever's holding it, whoever has auto, as soon as this nade goes away, just spam the wall. We'll just cover you. Simple as that. You know, there's so many options for the auto shotty on a map like Kill House, and I'm wondering how Yakuza's going to take advantage of that. We saw LCG use it on this map as well, but it was very difficult to retake vault with it, as we saw with the timing. So, it seems like a very similar plan here for LCG. Nade the barbed wire in office. We're going to eco play through reception, and we're going to go for club. But notice, there's a key difference here. There is not a smoke grenade involved in this plan for LCG. If they don't hit their flashes in club, Yakuza is just going to line them up and spray them down on stage. Stage, it does have cover, but with no smoke, you're not really going to get into a long-range room like that.
Oh, man. And Yakuza reading them like a book. 4 players from Yakuza are going to be watching reception here. And there is not a charge out for LCG. Yakuza knows they're going to go eco here. This could go poorly, folks. First shot rings out. Tigaman able to mop. Finish off Jerry, I should say. Macia's been landing the mop shot. Flashes are coming out there. 2 more go down. Pablo only able to pick up 1. Flecken gets 1 too. But the mop is doing work out here, keeping them from getting anywhere here in this reception. A flash comes out. They know Ghetto's back here, but he's going to be so strong. He's able to get down Flecken. Jet finally able to get that refrag there. It's going to be a 1v2 here as the bloodbath in reception.
And the dynamic barb, too. They just drop a dynamic barb, and granted, Jeff has the nade, but it's going to be rough for him now, especially.
Absolutely. A DL against a mop and a Gruber is going to be difficult to win, as he is now body shot. Nade goes out. It does land, at least. He's got that to go for him, and he's going to hear the comms from his team. Wouldn't be surprising if Jetford's going to save, maybe, given the fact that he's outside now and he has 15 HP.
Yeah, he might be trying to grab some of the flashes from the slaughter that was reception. But
maybe pick up a tub and really make things interesting. It looks like he might just be going for a full rotate here, but he's not going to be able to do that super sneaky. Oh, Macias is going to swing it. The ball's on Macias. That, I don't know if I agree with that decision. It worked out. But if you're going to pick a DL at 2 tiles with a mop, but regardless, it's 4-0 Yakuza.
I don't have much to say about that round, Reviv. I mean, it was just a slaughter in reception. We saw Macias get the first sniper shot off, and then there was just a cleanup, and it was just wow. And while Flogel was holding a long angle, LCG had cleared him, but they were not ready for the swing that Ghetto was playing there with a tub. Getting another player down and dropping it to a 1v2. I can understand going for that 2v2 against, like,
Mhm.
a Mop and an Igmar if you have close range guns and you can sort of close the gap. But when you're in a 1v2, you're body shot by the Mop. You really can't do much there. I mean, how many flashes were even taken that round? 5 or 6?
Mhm.
I think it really would have just been better if Jetford took the flashes he could have gotten there and just left it. Because now he's
I
also
agree.
lost the DL. They can't double DL on Storefront Rush. What are they going to do with that?
Absolutely.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
It'll be
But hey,
interesting. This is gonna be the defining round. If we're gonna have to have LCG down 2 rounds of utility on full wipes here, it's gonna be real difficult on that C store. So this is gonna be a huge round in deciding how this first half goes.
yes, it is. And we are back on Odysseus Banner, our factory map for this half. Now, I want to point out something. We did see a flank watch from Flogel, and he was able to push up to Toxic in the first set, right? But Yakuza's going to be expecting that. They did it. Why wouldn't they expect the same from their opponents? So, I mean, and it's a perfect prediction, it seems like. We've got a fan charge going down as well as a charge on office. And instead of barbing a bit closer to the red door and sort of just holding it from afar, Yakuza's going to be double barbing office. They're committing 2 barbs to office, and they're going to be playing this generator presence. Actually, 5 barbs. They're committed to this round. 5 barbs and an auto shotty on factory? Yakuza, what the hell are you doing? I mean, I can understand sometimes you want to do the sort of throw off. You want to put auto on green. You want to surprise them, maybe even run out at them. But 5 barbs on a factory? Most teams can't even figure out where to place 3 barbs on a factory, let alone 4. I have no clue what Yakuza's thinking here besides this generator hold, and it seems it may be the perfect counterplay to LCG's plan.
I agree. I think it's worth saying before we get into this round, Jedford did have a jump shotgun shot onto Ghetto that round. I missed that. It was a jump shot, and I think that's worth saying. The
Yep.
breach is gonna come out in office. We got 3 in there. These barbed wires are gonna wreak havoc.
Oh, and Tiga
Toxic
Man in the
kind of just
truck.
in by himself. Kind of lying in wait here. They're taking their time. Expecting, it almost looks like LCG's expecting some contest and they just haven't received it yet. They're just holding their angles. Flogo with the world's longest auto shotty angle, holding about an 8 tile hold here in the fan. A smoke gonna come out in office.
Ooh.
Shots are ringing out. Oh, Tiga Man's able to pick up on a Toxic. Louis gets one onto Jerry as the office team is not looking hot. Great crosses here set up. Just so strong, making it super difficult to push through these double barbs that I'm sure LCG did not see coming. Louis is on 1 HP. An interesting smoke decision from Pablo there, but that cross again, each one of the 3 on that cross able to get a pick there. Pablo able to get one back onto Louis, but now it's just Jet. Jet with the saber, he's able to get Flogel, who's swinging him with the auto shotty. Jet now not in a great spot, hoping he can make some magic happen, and Tiga Man's able to just push through his own barb and finish him off. It's 5-0 for the dominant Yakuza right now.
I mean, as soon as that smoke is a little bit too far in office and you don't have the nade there, it's over. You have 4 players watching office, and then you just have a Molotov waiting to hold off fan to sort of desync those attacker pushes. And I mean, the only thing LCG could have done there is be a bit more patient, maybe change the position where their smoke was, because they definitely could have gotten that kill in the truck player for Yakuza. But
Absolutely.
the smoke only benefited one side of that cross. So Yakuza were still able to hold it. I mean, like I said earlier in this game, they're holding their crosses both on attack and on defense. I mean, the only thing you're going to be able to do there is flash out properly and just know what positions they're going to be playing. And it seems while LCG isn't necessarily being out aimed, they're still getting picks. They're just being outplayed. Yakuza just has a massive galaxy brain in this game. I don't know what else to say. And
Absolutely.
this is another chance for them here to show what they're capable of. Most teams, they aren't going to win against storefront plays. but it seems LCG wants to go for a reverse wall charge. This may throw Yaokuza out of their boots. It seems they want to play some players in bathroom, in top of freezer or fridges, I should say, and tell her a wall charge on the backside here could cause so much chaos for Yaokuza, especially if the players don't rotate properly. So
For sure.
I'm wondering, Reviv, what do you think this reverse wall charge is going to do for LCG? Do you think it's going to get them some picks or just map control? What do you think?
Oh, every time I try a C-store strat that isn't blowing the storefront, I often feel like, man, here's another notch in the pole of maybe we should have just blown the storefront. But I also thought when I saw this map the first time that this was a strong push, especially because you know someone's going to probably be playing on this pillar. You know someone's going to play with a knack in bathroom. You know there's probably going to be somebody in office too. These are almost default plays. The only options left are you going to put people in arcade and teller, or you're going to put some people in freezer. So I think a really strong push. You have this window to hold freezer early. You can hold the door from outside, and you can push this pretty okay.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a bad push at all.
That's a lot of good insight. I mean, you saying it's not a bad push definitely helps me analyze this a bit better, I would say. But ooh, Jeffrey's gonna have to be a little careful on that window. We'll see. We'll see though.
Well, as Ghetto, Fogel, and Louis are all looking that way, maybe not the best start. Ghetto's so good on these little corners that maybe just aren't the play, if you will. But the rotations are all the way on now. Flogel and Ghetto have their knacks trained on the door, with hoping to get some wall bangs back as LCG. The first Molly's gonna come out, and Flogel are sorry, I've said Flogel so many times. Yaokuza are in full rotation now, ready for this push. If it's me at this point, I'm rotating back to storefront. They're not looking your way anymore, but the push is in. They're in. Oh, a TK. Two LCGs done, and the damage has been done. The two mags of knack that got put into storage did their job. The wall charge is down, but all of LCG less than half. Toxic pushing up into freezer is they're going to smoke Molly on the breach and push in all the way into freezer. Pablo and Toxic are. The double KR out for the defense. Ghetto pushing through the smoke, telling them there's nobody in there. Toxic and Pablo trying to play in the fridges. They're able to get one on Tika, but they're both now put down by Pablo and Tika himself, respectively. Now it's just the DL here on Fleck and trying to see if he can make some magic happen. But it's going to be a perfect half here from Yaokuza.
This is not looking good, Reviv. I mean, you said a possible 7-2 or 7-3, and I said 7-4 or 7-5, and it's not looking like that. I mean, just the damage that round alone, that put a pain in my chest. I mean, we saw so much damage come out from those knack wall banks. Two of the LCG players were lit up before they even walked in the damn building. Like, what are you supposed to do against that? You just take the damage and you have to go with it. I mean, Yaokuza are just playing their defense so perfectly here, and I'm gonna be sad if this ends right now. We're going to Dome, dude. I mean, I want to see more than one round of Kill Dome. Come on. But hey, there is a chance here.
For sure.
It is attack first on these new maps for LCG. They may come out with some big brain play that Yaokuza's not expecting. It could give them life in Life Tower, this new operation. So we'll see. Life Tower, this dome map is going to be very open in center area. Maybe we'll see a Saber come out and possibly even a power play from the side of LCG. I mean, power is just right out in the open. Hell, you've even got cover from observation if you want to go for power. So, interesting thing that I want to point out about this map, something that we've never seen on Dome before. A green door observation. Usually, observation is going to be a red door, or it's going to be somewhere in the middle of the map. You're never going to see sort of this free entrance observation because there's just really so much information. That room is so powerful. But this observation is going to be a little bit different. While it can help you take direct fights on the castle and the close part of pit, it's really not going to help you towards the bomb at all. Because, you know, somebody could be lurking in water. Somebody could be waiting for you to open up the drawbridge. Somebody could be mopping in the back corner, waiting for you to cross to power. I mean, the positions that Yaokuza can play here are many. And if LCG is not ready to clear out those weird sort of off meta corners, I
Mhm.
think Yakuza might end it here. But LCG is going for the double breach. We're going to see one on green, one on castle. So maybe they'll get enough map control to actually contest these fights. We
For
might see a change of pace here from LCG, even if it is too little too late. We'll find out though.
I'm just most excited to see Jetford with this Saber and Castle, and it's going to be a speedy route here. The Charger's already down on Castle, which was very far away from the truck. They do have a nade on Toxic over there. It's going to be a DL and an AP and OBS, and 2 APs and the Saber here in Castle. That barbed wire is on the stairs, so that will make it harder to get up here if Louis is left to be comfortable over an observation. Flash has come out. Flecken's in alone, but it does look like the drawbridge is up, so that is good for him. Tiga Man able to trade some damage off. Jerry gets the first pick on the Ghetto and observation. All of LCG with damage, and Jetford on the Saber at approximately 3 HP. Not looking good. Louis trying to fall out of OBS, and he's able to do so. He's able to get both of them in observation. Fantastic individual performance from Louis. Tiga Man's able to get Pablo and just swings Jet. Flecken's able to finally get him down, but Tiga Man's done his job. Louis sweeps it up. A 3K from Louis, 2 from Tiga Man. The first game is going to go to Yakuza 7-0.
Wow. I mean, I LCG just had a really good plan there, though. I have to point it out. They even brought a shotgun because they knew observation was going to be held so hard. They shotgunned and naded the barb on observation. That was smart from them. They had the coordinated push, but Louis was just able to recover. He killed a DL at a half tile range with an Igmar of all guns. I mean, just some of the picks that happened that round, I don't want to say was luck, but that definitely swung the round in the favor of Yakuza, and
For
now
sure.
it's 7-0. It's 7-0 for Yakuza, and I don't know what you do if you're LCG here. I mean, you're getting outplanned, but not necessarily
Mhm.
outgunned. So what do? Like, do you just start playing rat corners constantly? No, because Yakuza's going to understand that and they're going to start peeking those corners and clearing them. Oh, well, then maybe we should play aggressive on defense. Well, no, we always get picked off when we do that. Like rats, or excuse me, not rats, LCG need to go through their playbook. They need to go through their playbook and they need to figure out what is the right pacing, the right strategies to counter Yakuza, because Yakuza isn't just winning gunfights alone. Like I'm saying, it's these strategies. We saw it on the factory with that four-man cross on office. We saw it on C store with the deep push into arcade and freezer. I mean, it's just on a planning base level right now. Yakuza's ahead, I feel. And I
Absolutely.
can't say much more than that.
No, no, no. It definitely just like it's one of those where every plan we think of, they're totally ready for, and what we
Yeah.
think they're gonna do, they just never do.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, and it's so hard to do stuff about that because you feel like we could try this, nah, they're gonna be ready for that. We could try this, nah, they're gonna be ready for that. It's really easy to
Exactly.
get like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And
Exactly.
all this is really putting a strong showing out for Yakuza. A team that's kind of melded together the best of the EU that they could pick up, in their opinion.
Mhm.
And they're really showing that they're a force to be reckoned with coming in here. Because I think we all know LCG isn't 7-0 bad. I think that really goes to a testament to how well Yakuza played that round.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. And I mean, this may be a little bit of a stretch. It is still the second play day of the first weekend,
Mhm.
but Yakuza, they've been looking like the top EU team to beat. I mean, granted, we do see Katura in Rivals sort of pushing their way up as another strong EU roster, but I see Yakuza constantly scrimming these other EU teams, and it's just slap fest after slap fest. I mean, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say it, but it might be too early to say that I think Yakuza might be top 4 this season.
Absolutely. But the performance was 7-0 against any team. That's just dominant. And it was just what a showing, with that
Exactly. I
beautiful
mean,
logo, coming in here and really just dominating.
agreed, agreed. They were very strong in that game, and I mean, I'm not too sure yet, but we may see an LCG sort of pick up the pace in this second game. I'm not sure. We're just waiting for these two teams to re-coordinate and get back into the game. But Reviv, I've got to ask you, what were the biggest plays and takeaways that you saw that game? Because I wanna know what we see in this
The
game.
I think the big ones you're seeing the biggest play in the whole I think the whole game is in that first half. You're seeing Yaokuza read LCG on the green push perfectly. They commit two barbs and four players to watching reception. If they had gone lockers like you had suggested, they were totally out of position and there was only one player between them and defusing.
Yeah.
If even if they and I think reading LCG that well set them up for absolute success for the rest of the game because now you've taken away a full defender set of utility, no charge, but a nade and a DL, and you yourself lose nothing. They lost they lost a Tub and a Gruber, I think, in that round.
Yeah, they
Maybe
lost. Yeah, exactly. They only had 3 players die in exchange for
Mhm.
4. So getting rid of that health pool
For
was
sure.
really big for them. I mean, but we have some more in-depth analysts for a reason. We'll get into some of those plays later down the road. And hell, may, shout out to Revenant. Maybe we'll see Revenant make another DPL analysis video on it because God, that match there was so much in-depth planning. I struggled to keep up there. I'm not gonna lie. There was some very
Yeah, for
impressive
sure.
thinking on both sides, to be honest. I mean, while there was the prediction plays from Yaokuza, LCG still had very solid plans there. And I think if the utility or the pushes may have been a bit more coordinated or synced up, LCG could have shredded off or shaved off a few rounds from Yakuza there. Maybe not win the match, but definitely shred some rounds off and show their strength.
For sure. And I absolutely LCG's they're there. They're a step from being close, if that makes sense. Like there
Yes.
a lot of those rounds weren't super close, but there were some that were like, hey, if we get this, if this flash lands or that, they miss that molly, now we're right there. But, when Yakuza does perform as well as they did, it doesn't give LCG a whole lot of room to wiggle around, especially when their plans are being read so well.
Yeah, I mean, when your plans are being read like that, the wiggle room is going to be minimal. So
Mhm.
at that point, you've just gotta overflow. I mean, that's something I actually want to point out. We can learn from some of these higher tier teams, like Nemesis per se. We see some very heavy attacks on teams like that, and what they do is they like to overflow. They overflow and they use that attacker HP pool that's higher than the defenders to just overflow and get easy map control because they have the flashes, they have the utility, and they have the health. And maybe if LCG decide to sort of take some inspiration from that and start maybe trying some overflows or some more heavy hitting strats that rely more on the gunfights that they were winning here and there, maybe they can pick up a round. Maybe they can even pick up 3 or 4. I mean, it's not off the table for LCG yet. It is a best of 3, but this is going to be a rough start.
For sure, for sure. And I think if you're LCG, you're sitting here right now, you're like, man, we just got dumped on. Our first DPL match in, 6 months since season one, and we just got shown up. We got to regroup here, get yourself together. I think it actually might be better for them if they get attack first, even if they're defending six straight, because then they don't have in the back of their mind, hey, what did Yakuza do? Because they kind of just did what
Exactly.
Yakuza did. I think if they can attack first and really think for themselves a little bit, maybe they'll get some less meta strats that could be more beneficial to them. Because
Exactly.
you're right. When they were getting in those pure 1v1 gunfights, they were definitely competitive. There were still some times, especially that last round on Kildome, where Yakuza just won their aim duels. Brace firing Mar uh in
Observation. Yeah.
observation.
Yeah.
But as the chat is really having a good time with. But still, they're as far as gun skills, they're not 7-0 bad. So I think if they can maybe get their self-oriented, they can definitely have a good chance here to make this second game and maybe competitive and maybe even push for a third.
I mean, you said one thing that I really want to note in there. if LCG can get attack first. Because we saw on that very last dome round, LCG having attack, they were able to plan out something that Yakuza was not expecting, right? It's
Mhm.
just that was the one round that, Yakuza players just happened to pop off and they got multi kills.
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes that's going to happen. But they had so Yakuza had so many more chances there than LCG to, just pop off and get free kills because for LCG, when you're already down in man advantage and you're on attack, there's not really much positioning work you can do besides just using your utility from your dead teammates. So maybe we'll see a change of pace in game two, like I mentioned. Maybe we'll see LCG pull back, maybe even take the second game. I'm really not sure, but Reviv, predictions for the second based off the Grim first.
So I don't want to get flamed again for saying, being wrong, because I'm actually usually been pretty good about these. But I'm gonna go 7-2 Yakuza. I'm gonna say LCG gets they're gonna attack first. Well, hold on, let me see if they're attacking first. Is
No,
really what I get
LCG is on defense first again.
Well, darn. 7-1 7-1
Yeah,
Yakuza. They get a miracle defensive round.
yeah.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win round 3.
I'm gonna stick it with you. I'm gonna say 7-1, and this isn't to discredit LCG at all. They're a good team. They made it to this league for a reason. They pushed through rivals for a reason. But it seems sometimes somebody has to win at the end of the day. That's how it is.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. As we are on Saturn Hall, we are going to be starting off on a large factory map. We are definitely going to see some barbed wire toxic plays here. I mean, holding on to power is so important on this map because while an office storage split is strong for the attack, power is also a very good option on this map to cut off some long sightlines. Silos, so open, but it also has so much cover for a defender that wants to mop. So hitting the power can counter that very easily. We are going to see, some normal factory guns taken out. We do see an Igmar. We do see a grouper actually as well. And just some similar things like that. The mop is going to be on Jet, as we expect. And he's actually going to be playing a very interesting position. Maybe he's going for some sort of spawn peek. Ooh.
We got to be careful for a nade coming up there. Looks like they might have one drawn in.
It seems Jet's just going to be listening for info.
We do see a charge out here for Yaokuza. Looks like we're going to see an office green split.
Yeah, it does.
Yakuza does want to reiterate that we need a free voxel and Smith. If you've kept up with the times, you'll know what those mean. But I'm not going to take the time to explain all that now. Way more complicated than we have time to go with. We're going to see that tub up in office with a Molly and this barb. That could, if Flecken's able to put something in here, he might be able to really just stop this attack right in its tracks. But Macius on that Saber is a really terrifying concept. Louis just going to push right through this barb here on Jerry and Toxic. Jerry able to get a dynamic barb up in there as they're going to fall back into silos. And Toxic's going to try to hold Toxic. Trying to keep that power safe. A flash is going to come out. Charge comes out in office too. Shouts ringing all over the place. Molly's coming out, and Ghetto is lucky to be alive. Flogel, the first one to be picked off for Yakuza. Louis on 1 HP. Another not great flash up in storage, and they're not able to push on that one either. Ooh, 2 more go down as Jet and Toxic are both able to get picks on that green push, and there's just Ghetto and Macius left in office. LCG looking to pick up their first round of the day. A smoke comes out in office. Flecken, the man with the tub, goes, "You've given me smoke." Macius trying to keep this Saber safe. Wouldn't be surprised to see him play super patient for picks here. Not try to risk anything with 30 seconds on the clock in a 2v5. Not looking good here for Yakuza.
Yeah.
Ghetto gets a flash into Doc, runs the other way, and it worked on Fleck, and he's looking the wrong direction. And Ghetto able to get another pick onto Jerry, and Jet is running. He's like, I don't want to lose this mop. I got picks now, guys. I can do it. Ghetto drops, trading shots with Toxic. He's able to get him. Ghetto on a 3K with his desperation send, but it's not going to be enough. Macius saves the Saber, Jetford saves the mop, and LCG wins their first round of the day.
Saves the Saber, but not the Clacker. Flogel just ran out on Doc and lost the Clacker instead of, dropping it to that one player who's going to play in the back or even outside. That is, that's even rougher for Yakuza. I mean, you would think, yeah, it's okay that they lost the first round, but they can recover. But they're probably going to eco this round because of losing that clacker. It's a good start for LCG, and they could definitely stack up two here if they go for the prediction play. I mean, Yakuza, they might throw a one off and try to charge and win this round, but they've got to make sure to recover that clacker because that puts you in such a deficit in these situations. It's like, do we really want to risk charging this round and try to do a one off and win it? But if you lose, you're forced to eco. I mean, it's not going to be a good position to be in it when you lose that clacker first round. But they are going to be risking it. It's going to be a lockers play, and LCG, they're the ones reading the plays now. They've predicted this perfectly so far. The barbed wire on club is going to prevent that easy wall charge play that's possible on this map, Medicant Bishop. But they've also got a barbed wire set up for the locker stake. Even if Yakuza does come through club and go towards lockers, oh goodness, English. And even if Yakuza does end up going through lockers, that barbed wire is going to stop both the admissions push, even peeking through the windows, as well as a red door push. So, I mean, the read is here. Mm-hmm. The read is here for LCG. And like I said, they have had their gunfights. Now it's just the time to outplan them, and that's exactly what they're doing. And I mean, for a map like Killhouse, as long as LCG understands that they can get wallbanged out here and plays around it accordingly, I think they can win a second here, or possibly even transfer into a third if Yakuza loses their second placker here and are forced to eco. Not sure though, as Europe phase is going to be ending, and it seems 3 barbed wires and 1 Molotov. Only 1 Molotov is the play here for LCG. Usually we see those Molotovs reserved for later pushes to hold off the bomb site in that final fight. But some teams prefer to just stall that time at the beginning of the round because they like to get aggressive at the end. Maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. There is the auto shotty out.
Sure. There's also absolutely a chance to get a nade here for LCG if they don't use this nade early and are still able to take the win here, as they were planning to use that nade up on the bomb site. Regardless, it's going to be a 5-man push here at Lockers. I believe this is our first 5-man push of the day from Yakuza, with all the flashes in the known universe on them, and a smoke as well, as though they're going to smoke off admin, maybe try to get him to think they're going to club. Toxic and Jetford both going to pull back into Lockers. As I said, oh, Tigaman's stuck in the flames. He doesn't even know it. He's on 1 HP now on the DL, and the nade. That's huge. That is huge for them, as this barb is still here. And they're going to be able to fall all the way back into office. Another Molly's going to come out kind of just haphazardly as they're going to push through this barb. Jerry trying to get some wall damage and the auto shotty. And now we know we're on Killhouse because you can't hear what I'm saying. You're just hearing guns going off. The first pick is going to come out. Jerry on the Tigaman. That's the nade and the DL on the ground. Ghetto's going to have to pick that up. And that's great to get Ghetto off of an AP. More wallbang damage coming out here, as Yakuza kind of a fish in a barrel right now, stuck in this lockers area. Jerry just pouring KR ammo into it. Another flash is going to come out. The nade comes out. Doesn't really do a whole lot except hurt Ghetto, it looks like. They're going to push in. They have bomb sight, but looks like their LCG plan on playing for a retake. The auto shot, he goes down, but he's refragged immediately. Toxic and Jet the only ones here in office. Another pick there is, I missed that. Flecken gets another one. Oh no, Jerry wallbangs his teammate, putting Toxic down. It's a 2v2 now, as Macius is able to get one onto Jetford. A KR and an Ingmar here, all left for the defense. Macius and Flogel waiting his time, trying to get him into the office. The wallbangs aren't going to land there. There's too many desks in the way. He's going to be able to stick that. Only 3 seconds left now for the attack to push, and Flogel's able to put him down when they do. Just a little HP left on both of them. But good hold there from Yakuza.
I mean, that's the best situation that you can get for Yakuza there. I mean, even though it was a very close round and they lost some very important utility like a grenade, they were still able to get the clacker back, and now they have options. Now they have options for round 3 of this set, and this may end up being a 2-1 in favor of Yakuza instead of a 2-1 in favor of LCG. I mean, the hold was there. I've got to give it to LCG. The hold was definitely there. It's just the retake was not. Those last 2 players alive were not able to win the gunfight with an AP at close range, and that's understandable. When you have Allegros Are you really gonna win against an AP 2 tiles away? I don't
Mhm.
think so. Not unless you get that first headshot off. And abusing that, Yakuza were just able to start tapping the bomb. They knew that LCG didn't have the penetration value needed to get through those desks, and they were just able to long arm the bomb. And then boom, before they're even done defusing the bomb, when there's like less than 10 seconds left to defuse, Flogel says, "Hey, oh, let me go grab Clacker." And they're like, "Okay, I'll actually wait for you." They were able to remember that as well. They had everything they needed that round, and it just worked out so well for them. I mean, it was a bit close. There were some bits of chip damage we saw from LCG that really helped scare Yakuza into thinking they weren't going to win the round. But that happens sometimes.
Mhm.
We'll see though.
Honestly,
We'll see.
maybe just a little tentative from LCG on the retake. I think if they go for that a little earlier when they still have numbers, they're able to pull that one off.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they had 3 players alive versus the 2, and
Mhm.
Yakuza just had a really good flash, and the trade was still there for LCG. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I'm not sure what the timing or mindset was there. Maybe there was just that moment of hesitation because you see that in a lot of games and rounds, especially. You have that moment of hesitation, and that's what causes you to lose a round. And it seems that might have been what it was for LCG. But hey, there's another chance, and this time it's not a storefront. Well, technically, it's a storefront bomb, but it's not a storefront bomb. If you know what I mean,
It's a
we've got
frigid
something
bomb. It's frigid.
interesting.
It's different.
Yeah,
It's different, guys.
it's different. It's different. Trust me. But hey, LCG, they're gonna be trying to hold this backside. They're holding this green door because if they have the rotate capability, they can abuse wallbangs. They can abuse their positioning and just have so much more control over the map. But it seems like Yakuza, um, interesting. They're gonna be bringing a clacker and it seems a wall charge. So maybe we'll see that storefront rush.
Looks like we're seeing that eastern side storefront rush gonna come out. Little wait, baiting a molly out onto green. Oh no, Pablo puts another molly on green, and there's nobody there. Really good job from Yakuza baiting out those mollies in storage. Oh no, the wall charge able to get Jet and Toxic one tap by Macius there, and the smokes are out. And Yakuza's all the way to the bomb already. Pablo can't see a darndest thing. Flogo decides he should live anyway, though. And Pablo's able to get away from that alive. Pablo and Flecken trying to hold arcade if they can. Pablo's able to get one. Pablo and Flogo again are going to do this dance. Flogo doesn't give him a second chance, though, and puts him down. A fantastic take there from
I'm sorry,
Yakuza.
but that better be in the VOD. I mean, Observer, you better have gotten that show, guys. I need to see that. We need a replay feature. Good God.
He got it! Let's go!
You got it. Oh my goodness. I mean, the flashes were there, but that dance was just too hilarious not to get. And Jet just being caught out by that wall charge. That's so unfortunate, man. I mean, you commit so much utility to green there, and then you just it's all of it for just a wall charge to the face. I mean, that's so disrespectful, and it just puts you in the dumps, man. But hey, LCG, they've got to have the motivation here. They have that round that they need, and they're going on to 6 rounds now. 6 rounds of attack. So this is the change of pace for them. They're gonna take back what they did last game, and they're gonna say, all right, let's fix this, let's fix this, let's fix our, I don't know if it's necessarily communication, but let's fix our sync on our pushes, on our splits, let's fix our utility usage, and let's take these rounds that we know are ours. I mean, you've just got to have so much motivation now that you have a close beginning in this game. And it seems LCG is immediately going to be hopping onto it. They're going for the storage dock split, it seems. And while it is common to have a Molotov player waiting there, Yakuza are also going to be reading this play again. They've got a barbed wire. So
Oh, they
what's going
might
to happen
open it.
if you don't understand? You've got 2 options here on defense. If you think a team is going to blow a red door, you can kick it and barb it, or you can wait for it to explode and late barb it. That used to be known as dynamic barbing. It's also known as reactive barbing. But those are just some common names for it. Um, but the read is here. However, that barb might not go off if we see Jet, the resident sniper, get an immediate pick onto Flogel, who's going to be doing that barb play. You never know, because LCG also has this back push. This back push is also extremely viable for them. They've predicted, LCG has predicted the barbed wire from Louis, and they're going to be nading that out and going for a toxic play. It seems, Power's the option here. Power, making sure Mop can't play, and just letting your sniper go to town is LCG's idea here. And I don't want to call anybody out, but this is Jet's time to shine.
For sure,
I think. Getting a power off on a large factory and having Saber. You've got to get those picks, man. Especially with Mop on Mastius. He might be here.
Especially if this door is kicked too. Ooh, the Mop shot does not land on Toxic or Jerry. Toxic's already into storage with Jerry. Oh man. Oh, Toxic, what are you doing, buddy?
I think he's setting up a flash.
They're going to nade out the storage barb there as the Southern team is going to rotate all the way around to Doc. You might see, I personally call them Flogel barbs because of Flogel's ability to use them. Tigaman able to get the first pick on Jerry as Toxic gets mollied off up there in storage. Tigaman and Louis hold them this storage really well. Toxic's just going to rotate out of there. The molly comes out there. Ghetto's looking to get this barb down if he can. The smoke does come out.
He might die trying.
Jet trying to get the angle. There's the barb, and it is down. That's huge. Toxic now pushing, doing this dance with Tigaman and Louis up in storage, and he's still alive down there. Doing lots of damage onto both of them. Louis does finally win the battle, though. Another smoke is going to come out there. That one's more on the breach. Pablo going to try to push through. Flogel gets in there with that knack. He's able to get down Pablo. Flecken gets the first pick for LCG on the Flogel in that smoke. He's not able to escape, though. Louis with a massive Gruber shot there all the way from silos into the dogs, and it's just Jet now. Can Jet make the magic happen?
It's his time to shine. He knows somebody's in the truck.
Trying to get some shots here. If it's me and you're real, especially with that Mop out there and you know it's on Macius, you either save or you're shooting like every shot you have. You cannot let them get that Saber, and you really want to keep it for yourself if you can. Jet might be going for a full rotate or hiding in a corner. Ghetto tries for some cheeky wall bangs, but Jetford's not there. Jetford is rotated all the way around. He's able to get Louis, and you're going to see Macius, Tigaman, and Ghetto go, oh no, he's in storage. Run, everybody. But there's only 20 seconds left. That's just a free pick for Jet there. Really good to see that. Jetford get his at least one pick. But just strong defense there from Yaokuza. They're going to be able to take this as Jet's going to finish his save.
I mean, agreed. I mean, we saw again, Yaokuza just predicted the plan perfectly, and they were able to get free picks off of it. We did see the fights sort of shift in favor of LCG as soon as the first pick came out for them. But at that point, you're in a smoke. You've got 3, maybe even 4 people watching you. It's a rough situation. It's just like that reception prediction. You just get funneled. There's nothing you can do there. You're all just going to die on the same exact point. And it's just X on top of X on top of X. And Yaokuza, they're up 2 rounds now, 3-1. And LCG, they have more chances here. That's the biggest thing that they've got to realize. They may not win this game, but they have more chances. And if they can put on a show here, that's what really matters. I mean, Reviv, I know you want to see a show, right? Like,
For sure.
If every DPL game was 7-0 and an obvious prediction, nobody likes that. You want some risk involved. We like to see some plans changed up, some funny moments, some unpredicted scenes as we return to our Kill House map. So, LCG on the attack. It's going to be their second attack round. And they're going to be going for a similar play to Yaokuza, it seems.
I really like this Barb and Locker. I like the different play here. We're going to see that. I bet you a dime to a dollar Ghetto with a tub is going to be sitting right there. A dime to the dollar. I don't know if that's like the right phrasing at all. But, and again, they're expecting it to be back there.
Yeah, Flogel's also marking up a possible wallbang here. So
he's trying to see if he can wedge that between the lockers.
God, the prediction plays, they're just here. I mean, LCG is just being outplanned, dude. I really don't have much more to say. Like, I don't want to be boring. I don't want to talk about the map for 5 minutes. Like, And it's like it's not necessarily to discredit the teams, but it's the same plan. It's just a prediction play at this point, and there's not much else I can go off here. I mean, some interesting utility changes have come out. I mean, there's different predictions for where the barbed wire might be, and there's some different utility being brought on the different sides, but that's only so much in a round that seems so similar to the last.
I agree. And let's be fair here. The lockers take. If you look at this map, you're like, man, I think we should just go for a lockers take. That is your first reaction, no doubt.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the meta on the map for sure. But I'm surprised to not see either team go off meta on this one because of how barbable and how easy it is to play. I'm so dumb. It's Louis with a Gruber, not Ghetto with a Tub. We're gonna see double KR coming out here for Yaokuza, both very far away from where the breach is actually gonna happen. 5-man rush here, 1 DL in the APs. The mob shot does not land. They're just going to push right on through. 3 players make it in. Louis able to get 1, but 3 players all the way into office, and they slow down. No. Oh, they had it. Ooh, Flogel taking these barbed wires. Macy's able to get a mob shot. Good wall bangs there. Flogel, too, getting some damage. Ooh, and they're able to put the mop on the ground. Jet gets refragged, but still it's a 2v3 here for the attack, and a 2v2 is Pablo's able to get down Tiga Man now. Both KRs up for the defense, but that's all the flashes out on the attack. Wallbang's coming out there now. Ghetto's on low HP. Flogel also taking damage, and they're getting on. Toxic tickling it. Oh, and they trade. It's a 1v1 here. Pablo versus Flogel. Flogel's got a Molly and a KR. The Molly lands right on Pablo. Only does a little bit of damage, though. It takes too long to spread. Pablo and Flogel dancing around. He picks up a flash. Pablo does. It lands right on him. He's full lighted. He's able to get it. He looks the wrong way. He doesn't get him. And he finally does. Pablo with a great play. 2 kills for Pablo and 2 for Toxic, as they're able to just run right through everybody and take this round. 3-2 now for LCG.
There it is. I mean, Yaokuza, they got a little too antsy there. They didn't predict more than 1 flash coming to lockers, so they all played so close. And at that point, Louis is dead. You've got to run away, and you still don't have the health advantage for picking off attackers. We did see Jerry die in a trade from Louis Molotov, but the attackers still have the health advantage there. It's really more important to get that chip damage in that situation than just, 1 kill and get a trade. So a good round from LCG. They brought it down to what they needed it to be. They got to a 2v2, and then they played it out perfectly. That trade, wow. I mean, that trade could have altered the course of the round if one or the other got a pick there. As we saw, there was still a Molotov for the Yaokuza players, for Flogel specifically. So that could have changed the course of the round if it wasn't a trade. But hey, there's another chance. This could be tie game here if LCG plays C-Store properly. We're back on Starbuck shot. And I mean, the wall charge is the obvious play here.
No KRs and no mop here on the defense. Exactly. They lost both KRs and the mop last time, so this could be huge for LCG.
It seems like it may be Tubbs and Nax here, but if you think about it, this bottom storefront rush that could come out from LCG, that's a very different, sort of wall charge positioning. Some of the advantages you can get from this is, you get that immediate access to bathroom. You can hit the power. You can take freezer control so much easier. But one of the downsides is, you're not going to be able to play back and avoid chip damage, which is something that's huge. And I mean, Yaokuza, they're going to be very limited here. It does seem like they want to bring the auto shotty, and it's going to be on Louis. But all the rest of them, they're just going to be opting for Tubbs and Nax. None of them are opting for a gun like an Igmar or a Lagros, even if they want to play this storefront. So maybe this type of gun arsenal will favor a retake from Yaokuza, or we'll just see the perfect amount of utility used on the side of LCG, and they'll be able to make tie game at 3-3 on the new coming maps.
For sure. I'm a little surprised to see them go for this play, knowing that they have the long range advantage right now. They know what utility they have left. I'm surprised you don't see them go over here and try to get these free picks on Tubbs and auto shotties. There's not a single gun that can kill you at more than 3 tiles left on the defense right now. We're seeing 3 Tubbs and auto shotty and an
exactly.
I'm stunned that you're not seeing anything more long range. They had an
Igmar. They had an Igmar. I don't know why they didn't take it. They
Well, we'll
could
see
have
what
sent
happens.
Igmar and Teller or even storefront side. I'm not sure.
The charge is out. Flecken's gonna. They're gonna take the bathroom with the DL and the KR. The Tub's able to get one. Toxic trying to see if he can get away from Tiga Man in this tub, and he's able to do so. Takes a full mag of KR to do it though. Toxic now looking at bathroom as his next possible victim.
Louis.
Oh, Louis sitting there,
No.
lying in wait. He knows he's there. He times it well. Toxic does the dance, and he's not able to get away. Louis is able to take him out. 3v4 here, but the Saber up. Pablo, again, I'm stunned to see them spend this much time in bathroom. With for LCG here, Jerry and Flogel trading shots. No damage done really to either. Pablo still holding this bathroom. I'm stunned. This bathroom control is not important. Ghetto trying to survive, and he's doing so. He's going to get all the way to the door to the up, but Jet finally puts him down. Well, as he tries to peek the storefront. Still a minute left for the attack, which is plenty of time in a 3v3 with the Saber still up. But Pablo again dancing around in bathroom. Jerry and Flogel playing this fridges, and Lou's able to get another free pick in bathroom with the auto shotty. Flogel, a nice shot there with the knack across storefront there. It's just Jet now, who's gonna go into bathroom too with the Saber. I'm sorry, but what are you doing? You don't need bathroom to take the fridges. It's not on the way. You just put someone on the door and forget about it. I don't know if I'm wrong here, but to me that's just that's a silly place to put X's.
But you should know 2 players have rotated out.
It's just Jet now trying to make some magic happen. He's gonna run through this barb, and Flogel's there.
That's it.
A good hold from Yaokuza, but some interesting pushes there from LCG.
I mean, I don't know what went through the mind of LCG there. They had the call, and they got a trade on the auto shotty that ran away, but they just kept reflashing bathroom. They kept reflashing the same position in bathroom instead of actually using that to get through freezer and kill the auto shotty. It was just a stalemate in bathroom for no reason. There were no players in there. You could have wallbanged the stalls to clear it out, and they just kept using utility. They could have used that to even push through the barbed wires and get arcade control, but no. 3 flashes got used on bathroom, and it was only for 1 pick. What does 1 pick do for you? What does a pick on a shotgun do for you?
Yeah.
It really doesn't do anything in that situation.
I don't know why they were ever in there at all. Like, there's just throw somebody outside on the door and move on. Like, the bathroom is not going to be all that beneficial to you. But
yeah,
here we are, and it's 4-2 for Yaokuza. LCG still on the attack here. Maybe able to make it 4-5 before they have to go to defend if they're able to get this set here.
Maybe they'll have that chance. I would have to agree. Rogue Leopard, though. Finally, a dome map that isn't the end of the game. Let's go. But hey, this one's pretty interesting. We're going to see some very long sightlines here. I mean, all the way from beach to the bomb. So, for defenders, shotguns and knacks are not really going to be an option here unless you want to hide in base or you want to hide in pit and sort of get that one-off pick or chip damage. So, we'll see what happens as these sightlines are going to be noted by both teams. So, what LCG seems to be going for here, they're going to have that sniper go alone on beach. That beach player, that Saber player, it seems Jetford, is going to be trying to support the attackers on the side of LCG who push in through ruins. However, Yaokuza is aware of how strong the ruins breach is, and they're going to be double barbing that side of the map. They're going to be barbing the single drop, and they're going to be barbing that part of the bridge right where you peek out. Granted, you still can play behind it and sort of peek, but if you want to come out, good luck, partner. I mean, especially with a sniper in the back line, that could be for excuse me, I can't speak. Yaokuza, we might see a very rough push here, and I just want to point out Flogel, classic Flogel positioning. Oh Lord.
Oh man, he's staring at lava in that corner, trying to. It works. Have you ever done this personally?
Yes, I've done.
Oh, it works.
Against it. I've had to play against this team. You forget that.
Yeah, you just gotta charge the right door there. Jet by himself looking to kick beach. Gonna be in a 1v1 with Louis and a Gruber. Louis hears him. He knows he's there. The charge comes out and ruins. He's gonna turn around. Ghetto gets the first pick onto Jerry. Jetford now all the way in on base. Toxic and in base, and he's saved by Pablo and a TK. TK Man's able to get him, but a refrag immediately. It's a 3v2 now for LCG, who does some great trades in base. Mop and Saber both still up. That might have been a wall-banged Mop shot on a Pablo there. As Macius is going to swing this breach once more, trying to hold that little peek angle that Jerry was killed in. Jet trying to see if he can get a sight onto Macius. They know where he is. They know he's been peeking these stairs because he's shot twice already from over there.
It is a stalemate. LCG's got to do something here. They don't have much utility.
50 seconds and one smoke. Oh, and there goes the Saber. That's a huge pick there from Yaokuza, sorry. As the flash lands well, but that's because of how long this water is, they're not able to get it. The Mop does land. Surprising to see him jump on the bomb there, and Ghetto's able to wipe up the rest of it. 3K there from Ghetto. Lots of damage on the Mop, and a great defense from Yaokuza.
Good defense from Yaokuza, but they've got to pick up 2 more. I mean, granted, both of our predictions are already wrong. But hey, it's all fun and games for us. They're the ones under stress, not us, right? Like, but hey, very good defense from Yaokuza. I mean, the Mop was such a game changer that round. We saw a tag onto the bomb diffuser and a kill onto Saber. I mean, when you have Saber coming up against Mop, usually Saber's going to win, right? Saber has the semi-auto, so if they do choke the first shot, they're going to be able to recover. And Mop, you have to hit that first headshot or, go for the pistol. I mean, the GAT 9 is a very good secondary to run with that Mop because of the no damage fall off. But it's going to be very difficult to hit with those irons at that range. So usually you're going to see the Saber win that type of fight. And now that they still have the Mop and LCG doesn't have Saber, this map, Frost Banner, is going to be so much more difficult. Hell, there's even a rat spot in this map. If you take a note by Power, there's this little cubby in the silo that you can hide in. So what you can do is, let's say the attackers blow office and they want to take Power control. You can just hide in that cubby until all the flashes come your way, and then just jump back out and take free shots. Before we saw people just get kind of stuck in it and not know what the heck was going on. But now that people know about it, it's sort of like, hey, we can actually abuse this position to our advantage. But maybe that position won't get used because a fan push is what it seems like here for LCG. They've got 2 rounds left in this set. And if they don't use an explosive here, the eco play is just too predictable. 4 barbs coming out on Factory from Yaokuza. I mean, they've been wanting these Factory rounds. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they want these Factory rounds so badly, but they're just on top of it. So maybe this fan play will throw them off, considering that LCG doesn't have Saber, and we'll see some heavy utility usage and just a bomb stick, possibly. Because the only positions you can really cover bomb from as a defender is going to be docks, which can just be closed off and you can just be shut away for the round. You could be eternally locked away in a vault. Or, office towards silos, which isn't even that good because you're so open.
For sure, there is a clacker and door charge on the attack. It looks like we're going to see a fan server split here from LCG. No Saber picked up by the defense, so the Mop is the only sniper going to be in play here. It looks like a 4-1 here for fan and servers. Macius really sitting in a good spot to pick up a pick here. He misses the shot, though, and they're going to be able to flash out. He's going to rotate all the way back into Doug. Jet is sending, trying to get his revenge on Macius for putting his Saber on the ground. Jet in a tight spot. He does get him off. How is he able to get that pick for free? A great smoke lands right on top of Ghetto's head. And LCG looking strong on this attack here. Another pick there is Flecken's able to take down Ghetto at a nice long range there. The smoke comes down. Pablo Toxic able to take down Flogel as well. Jerry gets Giga Man. What a push here from LCG. It's just Louis in the dock. Louis able to get one onto Flecken.
They're just going to close it.
Oh, not able to close it, but as he swings, Pablo puts him down. A fantastic push from LCG. Good flash placement, good smoke placement, reading and comms are excellent, and not punish. And
You're all good.
Not punishing Jet, who's able to just sit there for free up in dock.
I mean, Jet was flinging. So something about this game. If you look down, your head is going to move with you. So it's sort of similar to, games like Hunt Showdown and CSGO. You can crouch and look down and hide your head. And that's exactly what Jet was abusing. He was knowledgeable about his movement, and he was able to use that to get a pick and then say, hey, I'm going to stay safe until you can get that utility off, that smoke off, that flash off, and then we can all push them together. And it was just perfect. And the biggest mistake there on the side of the defenders was not getting that chip damage. They used 4 barbed wires that round on the wrong side of the map, and they were just not able to get chip damage because Mob had not hit the shot, and the Igmars were not there to, support the immediate rush and then fall back. So LCG were just able to push up all on full health and get 2 picks for free. And then from there, they just used their utility to clean up the last few. I mean, perfect execution from LCG, and they just took so much advantage of Yaokuza not getting that chip damage.
Absolutely.
So,
really
we'll
good.
See what they do. LCG. We'll see what they do on Full Havoc. I mean, this is a map that I would say favors the defenders because you've got so much rotate room for the defenders. I mean, if you keep control of reception and even office, you've got so much room to work with. I mean, the wall charge actually going to be used in a little bit of a versatile way here. It's going to be used on a door. A little bit unpredictable, but, most teams are going to go for the kitchen blow on this map. Anyways, actually, change of plans. Scratch that. Call me dumb. I'm just paying attention to the map. It seems that LCG want to go for a wall charge out of reception into club. That's going to do a lot for them. If they can get this flashbang spam off properly and get it into the stage position, they completely bypass a barbed wire. They catch a defender who has a Molotov prepped, and they can immediately push into kitchen and just make sure all the defenders are stuck in the office and brick house positions, which, from there, wall bang after wall bang, or even just flash after flash. Easy clear, get those initial picks, do the same thing you did last round, LCG. It's going to work for you if you do it properly. We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, Auto Shotty is out on Lewis. Auto Shot isn't Lewis. That's a big thing I want to point out.
For sure. This the way they're drawing up this strat, this looks like they're playing more for kills than they are to get the button and defuse here. Gonna try to get these picks. That's a sit. Sorry, they do have the Saber. It's out on Macius in club now. They decide to bring one sniper each way.
Actually, I want to point something out. They ran to the red door, and then they started walking. They don't know.
Well, they do now. An Ingmar and a mob traded as Jet gets his first big mob shot there onto Ghetto. The charge is down. They might not know it's coming. Mace is definitely not looking as the charge comes out, but both mollies land really well. Oh, and the nade does not get the club barb. That is huge. Huge blunder there for LCG. Macius on that Saber. Flashes come out. Really good flash placement. It gets the molly. Tikaman mollies himself. Flogel is down. Macius has to fall back. He's running into a corner, and they're able to take him down too. Excellent flashing from LCG now, and it's just Louis on the auto shotty trying to hold the button. A great push there from LCG.
I mean, come on, Louis. Do it. Do it, Louis.
Oh, he swings! He's able to get both of them! Great play there from Louis. It's just Jet and Pablo now. Jet needs to wait for his team, but they've got flashes. They just got to flash him out. Oh, and he runs right onto the flash. The timing's terrible. The second one's going to get him too, and Jet's able to finish it off. Huge early picks there from Jet. Louis trying to make the magic happen, and he can't do it. It's going to be 5-4 as we go into our last half. What a game.
That's so good, though. I love that. Just Louis, you can't do much in that situation. They've still got flashes and utilities, so you take what you can get, man. Good on you. 2K for him in the round, but LCG, again, they took no damage from that initial Mop and Igmar fight. That was huge. They took no chip damage again. Every round that they have won, they have not gotten chip damage onto them at the beginning of the round, and it's winning them gunfights. Like I said, their gun skill is there. They're just getting chipped off. at the beginning for no reason. And now they're being careful about their positioning. They're actually thinking things out and saying, hey, they're probably going to go for this, this, and this. And, now that they're aware of it, they're able to completely work around it and they're getting rounds for it. I mean, granted, they are sort of spread out. This is a 50-50 game still, but
Mm-hmm.
they're doing so much better now that they understand, hey guys, we can't be doing this sort of thing. We can't just be going in. We've got to be aware of all the spawn peaks they've been doing, all of these pieces of chip damage they've been doing, stuff like that. So LCG bringing it back round by round. Very impressive so far, but we'll see if they can keep the pace going as Yaokuza back on the attack. This could be deadly. Yaokuza did have the 2-1 lead in the first half. So LCG is sort of on the back foot here, and they need to win at least 2 to push this to a third or even, overtime if they win the third game. If we do go to a third game, that is. It seems the plan here for them is going to be similar barbed wires to Yaokuza. And instead of a Ruins play, Yakuza is going to be opting for a pit power play. This could be really strong for them as that completely cleans up observation, but they could also regret it because you have those immediate double peaks from observation. You can get instantly taken out by even a Molotov or somebody holding a barb on power. And then what do you do from there? You either have to flashbang spam and use all your flashes on observation to sort of get through and have none for the actual bomb site push, or you just got to rotate off and go try to take a different area without as many flashes, which is going to be very difficult considering Jet's going to be on the mop here in top Ruins.
For sure. And it wouldn't even be surprising if you see some of these guys who are going to play in this observation area, if they clack pit, get their mollies down, slow them down, and then rotate over to this high jungle side so they can't be, so it's much more difficult to flash them and they can still defend the bomb site.
Agreed. I mean, end goal of the game, defuse the bomb, right? But it's going to be very difficult when you take a long route like Yakuza's taking.
Sure.
They've got a side quest on power.
Well said. It is going to be a 4-1 here, pit to beach. Might be Yakuza overcomplicating a little bit. This pit push is a difficult one to do for sure. Flashes come out. A good molly there is going to come out from Toxic there. Some shots are coming, but the smoke is too deep. Toxic's going to be able to swing that. But Ghetto's able to take the fight. No cover. Able to take down Toxic without taking any damage. Huge there for Yakuza. They're going to get that KR too if they want to pick that up. Mace's taking some shots. The mop rings out. Nobody's landing any damage here. Pablo has that molly ready, not going to throw it just yet. Jet again takes the shot and never win. Jerry going to swing that observation with a leg rush, and he's put down by Tigaman. 2 players in obs now going to push all the way in. Pablo's going to go up there. He does not know that Louis in. Louis waits till they're all the way in. It's just going to shoot him straight in the back.
Oh, Louis.
Oh, Pablo able to get the first pick, but it's not going to be enough. Yakuza takes this one comfortably.
There it is. You know what I noticed that round that has been helping LCG win rounds? Chip damage. Chip damage. There was no chip damage on Yakuza at all. That Molotov, I've got to say, that Molotov did jack shit. It got rid of 1 flash, but then you peek a smoke that's getting spammed. Just the positioning just completely screwed LCG over there.
I don't even hate the peek, honestly, because it's disadvantage. There's no flash. You're just swinging with the KR, and he's not looking at you because he's hitting power. You just can't miss all your shots. Shots don't land. It's going to be hard to make things happen there.
All you've got to go off in a smoke is a ping and sound. You're not going to have any visuals, and while you're in the smoke shooting out, the other player is going to have visual of tracers coming out of the smoke. They know where to shoot. So,
the smoke was too deep. He could see. He was completely.
Oh, he could see.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know why he peeked that. Oh, okay. That changes a lot, actually. I'm surprised there wasn't as much chip damage then.
The shots just weren't landing for Toxic up in pit.
Then again, I've got to say it. The defining factor of these rounds is going to be that chip damage, and it's favoring the attackers right now. Yakuza, they are on match and series point in this best of 3, LCG have to tie this game and win the next to bring it back, or they're going to go to overtime or even lose this game. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yaokuza is going to go for some sort of green and toxic take, it seems like. They are going to be flashing through the windows of toxic. Not a bad idea. But LCG sort of prepped for this topside push. They're thinking, hey, maybe we should give up this top side of the map. They drew a line of sight from the office red door to where it can cover green, and it seems they are aware of the push that could come out from Yakuza. So Tiga,
I hate to interrupt.
8. Oh, good lord.
I got it for him. We'll keep it up.
Good lord. I mean, Tiga, we'll see if he gets some more kills here this round.
It appears Tiga's disappointed with his play.
I mean, hey, he's done it for the team. He's done what he's needed for the team, and Yakuza's winning. You gotta at least hand it to him. Sometimes you're not gonna look the best. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of been bricking recently. I mean, everybody has that. Everybody has that phase. So
it happened.
No stress on Tiga. I'm not gonna slander him at all, but maybe he needs to step up his game a little. I don't know. But the green rush does seem like the play here. It seems Yakuza want to sort of go for this eco play to analyze what LCG is bringing, so they can overflow on the last round and win it out, possibly 7-5.
KR being brought by Tiga Man here, trying to really change his KD, but even an ace won't get him positive. It's going to be the kick is in. Macius is going to entry Saber. One of my favorite things to do. The flash is going to come in when no one's remotely close to looking yet. So an interesting timing on that flash, but it's not going to matter too much as Tiga Man's going to get the first pick onto Jerry there. Molly comes out. Lou's going to get one onto an over-aggressive Jetford for sure there. Nading out that barb into servers. Really good stuff here coming out from Yakuza early in this round. Smoke is going to come out and stop that office take as they're going to flash and swing Pipeworks at the same time they're pushing office. Pablo has to drop. Flogo's going to swing him. He's ready for him to be exactly where he is and is able to win the fight. Oh, just
there it is.
Clinical from Yakuza. Just walking in. Smoke. Perfect. Perfect attack there coming out from Yakuza. And they're going to take this one 7-4.
Clean, damn sweet on the final round. It's going to be 2-0 in the favor of Yakuza. And they keep their EU crown so far. The LCG had a rough first game, but they showed this second one that they are still a viable roster. I mean, even with all the changes that they've been going through and the surprise entrance to DPL that they had this season, they put up a show for us, and I'm happy. I'm really happy with that reviv, to be honest.
For sure. They definitely, after that 7-0, I think everybody went, all that happened in LCG, getting in the DPL and all that happened, everyone was hoping that it wouldn't, it could still keep the entertainment value up. And I think that last round showed, hey, they might not be at that top tier competing for the championship, but they definitely can compete. And I think that's really good to see.
Agreed. And I mean, there's plenty more opportunities. Remember, this season is supposed to last all the way into late June, I believe, if you include playoffs. So there is so many more chances for LCG to show what they have here, especially against some of the newer teams that joined the league, like Rise, like Gnomes. I mean, there's so many opportunities that LCG has here, and I am not going to discredit them just yet.
For sure.
But hey, Reviv, I've really got to ask you: do you have any final notes from this game? Like, is there anything specifically you noticed?
I noted a couple things. I think, especially in that second round, Macius maybe not landing the shots with the snipers, and I think that was a big chance to let Jetford some wiggle room to really maybe be better than a lot of people were expecting on those snipers.
Yeah, fair. Jetford
as well as I think the attacking strats from LCG when they played their game, when they stopped playing Yakuza's game and started playing the way they wanted to, they could compete, and I think that's really good.
Yeah, agreed. And the biggest thing there is I think both of these teams played well today. I mean, granted, there was the very rough start that was LCG's reckoning of a 0-7 but they showed up second game.
For sure.
Like I said, no discrediting LCG just yet. It is the first week of the season. There's plenty of upsets that are going to happen. There's plenty of unpredicted rounds that are going to happen. And I mean, there's a lot of new things that teams are discovering bringing into this season. So there's just more opportunities and more chances for them in the future. And I feel like LCG, they can definitely they can show up. They showed
For
that
sure.
today. They were able to pull back. And I feel like the lesson to be brought out of this for LCG is while we couldn't win this game, I think this was definitely going to go to Yaokuza. They could show up every single time. Like LCG were able to show up repeatedly in that second game. And I think that even though the moral, the morale might have been down because they knew we were
Yeah.
probably not going to win this game, they showed what they were capable of. And I mean, I I have to give it to them, but I also have to give it to Yakuza.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, Yakuza looking fantastic. A lot of those attacks, when they weren't shooting themselves in the foot, were strong. They looked really, really good in some of those rounds. So
they did.
can't wait
They
to
did.
see more out of them trying to compete, with Nemesis for that hopefully trying to see if they can compete their way to the top there in that top chunk of people up there.
Exactly. And I
So
mean, on the note of more matches, we actually have one coming up in an hour. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's going to be Gaggle of Idiots, also known as Honk, formerly Slaughterhouse and Flatline, versus Gnomes, a team that came in through relegation in
correct.
Rivals. So if you don't have any other notes, Reviv, I'm just going to hand this one off here and I will see everybody later.
Absolutely. Can't wait to watch that Honk and Gnomes game. Should be a really good one. Both
It
teams
will
looking
be.
really strong in the offseason, so it'll be a great match.
It will be. And with that, I've just got to thank production so far and viewers, chat, everybody out there. We will see you in an hour for the next matchup of DPL Season 3.
See you guys soon.